Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is stage 8, the final stage of the 2023 Paris-Nice race. Now, we've seen some exciting battles against Tadej Pogačar and Jonas Vingegaard, but this is Col d'Ez. We have 115 kilometers thereabouts, about 75 miles in total distance, and 5 categorized climbs, with the last famous Col d'Ez being the highlight of today's final stage of Paris-Nice. Now, at 7.5%, Col d'Ez is a hard climb. I've done it many times. Used to live there in Nice, so I trained it many times on my training day rides. And it's a beautiful climb. Super steep at the beginning, really hard in the middle, and then it'll ease up on the final part as you're coming into the KOM, where it gets quite a bit softer there from the earlier parts of the climb. So we got all kinds of stuff to look forward to in today's stage. Now, I told you yesterday I wanted total chaos, and when the cameras finally come on with about 70 kilometers to go, there's chaos all over here on stage 8 of Paris-Nice as we see the big break up front being chased by the peloton that has the Alpecin de Koenig riders on the front there pulling hard, trying to bring everything back together. They're on the front because they must have missed that front break there, and they want to get somebody up the road, and that's why they're pulling. Not a knucklehead move, just trying to close the gap to get someone into that next move. When the cameras go back, though, we start seeing all kinds of riders off the back. Dami Novak from UAE Team Emirates is off the back. Mikkel Berg is off the back. Rowan Dennis, we saw him going off the back. And Nathan Van Hooydonk from Jumbo-Visma. So 2 from UAE, 2 from Jumbo-Visma are coming off the back, which tells me that before the cameras came on, there must have been action all over the place because it's total chaos at this moment. Now, in that front big breakaway, there's the KOM rider up there, Jonas Grego, and he rides for Uno-X. If he can get himself some maximum KOM points, he'll win the competition regardless what happens in the later part of the stages. So when the camera comes to the front of the break, you see Jonas up there pulling 100%. He's doing everything he can to get to the top of this KOM before the GC favorites, just chasing a few seconds behind, can close this gap. Once we come up to the KM, Jonas Grego from Uno-X, he does deliver, and he gets maximum points to seal up the KOM jersey here at Paris-Nice for Uno-X. They drop down the backside, everything's all together. Then we're going to see 5 riders slip off the front. And interesting enough, Jumbo-Visma's in there with Jan Tratnik, Lucas Hamilton from Jayco, Stefan Kuhn from FDJ, Clément Champusson from Arkea, and Oliver Naesen from AG2R, all represented in this front group. This is what I wanted to see on yesterday's stage. You wanted to see the big teams back there that could put some pressure on Tadej Pogačar. It's late, it's stage 8, but now they've put the right combination in there to get up the road. This will allow them to either get a little more gap from the GC favorites, and then if you have some guys attacking back there like FDJ's Godou attacking sometime later in the stage, Stefan Kuhn would be able to drop back. Same for Jumbo-Visma with Jonas Vingegaard back there because he has Jan Tratnik up there. So with that combination, they have possibilities of other things to play. Now, when you think about those 5 guys too, there's no threat on general classification. So UAE Team Emirates, who are down to just 3 riders, Tadej Pogačar, Felix Großschartner is there, and Tim Wellens is there. They don't have a ton of horsepower left in the peloton back there of GC favorites, so they could just throttle down, let that gap open up big time, and not have to worry about this break at all. That means the bigger teams up there now can switch into going to race mode, or if there's the possibility still of dropping back for their GC favorites, but if you open up that gap enough, there's just no chance for that to happen, right? So they'll have to go for the stage win if UAE Team Emirates want that to happen. Now, right after that, we're going to see Wout Poels throw in a massive attack, and he's going to try to bridge across about a 35-40 second gap up to this group of 5. And just dangling behind Wout Poels is going to be the Astana rider De La Cruz. Now, Wout Poels will catch that front group, and he's going to fly straight by those guys. But guess what? Behind UAE Team Emirates, they're not giving up the stage. They're going full gas back there with Tim Wellens driving this thing 100%, and Felix Großschartner latched onto the wheel. With that gas going full, they're going to catch these front guys. Everybody but Wout Poels and Oliver Naesen from AG2R. He tried to go with Wout Poels but couldn't hold that effort, and he'll drop back too. But then we see De La Cruz, Astana. He's looking over at Tadej Pogačar, having some words with the two-time Tour de France champion. And we see Tadej Pogačar look left and wave his hands at. He's saying, dude, I don't care what you think. I'm going for the stage win. It doesn't matter if I'm going to run my team full gas like a bunch of knuckleheads or not. I'm going for the stage win. And it's mine today is what he's saying as he keeps Tim Wellens up there going full gas. Now, they'll go over the climb. They'll start going down the descent. And now we got the first time bonus sprint going. We'll see FDJ hop on the front, going a full block there for Gaudu to grab some time bonuses. But Tadej Pogačar is not having any of that. He wants to dominate here, and he goes full sprint into the line to gain himself 6 extra time bonuses and 2 on Gaudu, who gets finishes second for 4-second bonus. Now they go back in the line with Tim Wellens on the front, driving full gas as we're coming down, getting ready to start the Col d'Ez. Wellens is just throwing in the ugly face on front. You know this guy is going full gas to start this final climb. Once we get into about 20 kilometers to go, that's when Wellens is just about done, because we're going to start the Col d'Ez. With the starting of the famous climb here in Nice, we'll see Wellens pull off. Felix Grossschartner starts going to work, and then we just start seeing guys getting popped out the back, left and right. What was left of this group, it was tiny to begin with, 30 guys or so. But now we're seeing Stefan Kuhn coming out the back with a host of other talented riders here at Paris-Nice that just can't hold the pace from Felix Grossschartner up front. Now we're just about 19 kilometers to go, and we're at a 13% section when Felix Grossschartner looks like he's done and starts to pull off to the left. Simon Yates throws in a massive attack from Jaco Alula, and this is a mistake. Simon Yates, not right here, man. Don't do the attack on the steepest part of the Col d'Ez. Wait and get Tadej Pogačar to do something and wait for it to slow down. But this is what worked for Yates last year when he was dropping Primož Roglič, so he's just sure it's going to work again. He throws in a massive acceleration. Tadej Pogačar is locked onto his wheel. Guys, the first rule of the butterfly effect is never to leave your teammates, never to have your teammates to leave your leader. The second rule I made up last year was for Wout van Aert, you never attack him on the steepest part of the cobbles. And that second rule applies to Tadej Pogačar and Primož Roglič when he's in his top form. You don't attack these guys on the steepest part of the climb. Simon Yates, please give us something to root for at the end of this stage 8 here at Paris-Nice. And instead, with that big acceleration pulling Tadej Pogačar away from the other favorites, we see Jonas Vingegaard and Davide Gaudu struggling. And then Tadej Pogačar throws in the afterburners, accelerates, and gets a gap. Now, when I'm sitting on the Chesterfield, I'm thinking, okay, it's not over. The race isn't completely over because, as I said at the beginning of the video here, Col d'Ez will start to ease off, and every time when I've done Paris-Nice, when I'm on form, if I've gotten dropped early, so I wasn't on spectacular form, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten dropped early, but when I have gotten dropped early, I've been able to come back to the group in front of me. So while I'm sitting on the Chesterfield, I'm thinking, okay, it's not over. You have Simon Yates back there, David Gaudu, Jonas Vingegaard, and Matteo Jorgensen, who had bridged up from the group behind, made a spectacular bridge to get up to this group. So you got 4 guys back there, and then all of a sudden, Gaudu believes he can bridge across the 15-second gap up to Tadej Pogačar, so the Frenchman throws in a hard acceleration. He leaves the other 3 companions behind, but he only gets about 2-3 seconds on Tadej Pogačar, and then it's a stale back there because he just can't get any more power to the pedals. And Tadej Pogačar, the Slovenian, is on flying form for stage 8 of Paris-Nice as he's still solo up there driving it. The other 3 guys will bring back David Gaudu, and then I'm getting a little excited still because I know it's going to back off. It's going to be 3-4% near the top here where you can really start getting in some rotation and saving some energy by sitting on the back wheel there, and 4 guys sharing the load to try to bring back one Tadej Pogačar. Only problem is Tadej Pogačar doesn't believe in my tactics because he's going solo anyways. As he's driving all the way up to the KOM, he's putting time on these guys left and right. When he crosses the KOM, he's got about 40-45 seconds on the 4 chasers behind. And then when we go back to the next group, it started exploding back there. Sivakov comes across the KOM just by himself. Just behind him, we have Gino Mader from Bahrain victorious, and then a group of 3 that has Nielsen Powless in it. Those guys will come back together for the descent. And now I'm still thinking, okay, we know Tadej Pogačar can bomb the descent. The top of the Col d'Ez is super technical, but once you get about halfway, it's a super wide road, and it just flows easy where you could get 4 guys really driving again. So I'm thinking, I'm sitting on the Chesterfield, come on, I know it's Tadej Pogačar up there, but somebody leave me some hope. The 4 riders back there, they're working well together, but Tadej Pogačar, he's blazing down the descent. We see him scrubbing every right turn, left turn. He goes by some master riders who are all excited. Can you imagine being at Col d'Ez on vacation right now? Riding your bike up to the Col d'Ez there with all your buddies as you see Tadej Pogačar come by you. And then the next group is Jonas Vingegaard, last year's Tour de France champion. Well, you know those guys are excited. You see them, they're super smiling all over the place. But Tadej Pogačar's got other stuff to solve as he's going full gas downhill. Like I said, scrubbing everything, going past the speed limit signs, flashing red at Tadej Pogačar the whole time. The group of 4, they're cutting inside, outside of the pylons. Nobody's crashing. Looks a little crazy dangerous, and they're not holding anything back, trying to bring back the two-time Tour de France champion Pogačar up front with 2 kilometers to go. We see the left turn as Tadej Pogačar is going to start his road going from descending to flat as he's along the Promenade d'Anglais all the way into the finish. He starts to celebrate. Hands up high, then he does the bow, followed by the clap to close here at stage 8 with a marvelous 3 victories, stage victories here for Paris-Nice, and grabbing the last one on Promenade d'Anglais. Everybody wants this one on their resume. I used to live just a couple hundred meters from where it finished today, right along the coast there. So this race always holds a little something dear to my heart, although I always preferred Tirreno-Adriatico because it was sunnier and warmer. But if you had the chance of winning here on Promenade d'Anglais, you know you want it on your resume. And Tadej Pogačar was nothing but spectacular in terms of his fitness and domination here on stage 8. Now, would have I ran the tactics like this? No way would I have ran my team full gas, especially with just Tim Wellens and Felix Großschartner left after they had been dropped earlier on yesterday's stage 7 here at Paris-Nice. But behind the 4 guys, hats off to you guys. You did everything you can. All 4 guys drove all the way into the finish with Jonas Vingegaard winning the sprint there for second. Gaudu getting third, and then we'll round out the podium, the overall general classification, of course, with Tadej Pogačar, just massive extension on his lead here to take the overall victory. Gaudu, the Frenchman for FDJ, second on the podium, and Jonas Vingegaard will round out third. Now, as I told you guys, on Beyond the Coverage before Paris-Nice started, if you lose and had a reason to lose here at Paris-Nice, like bad weather, crash, your team time trial just didn't come out right and you lost 30 seconds and you couldn't bring it back, that's one way to go down. But at the end here of stage 8, Jonas Vingegaard got delivered a blow on every mountain summit stage here at Paris-Nice. So he is not leaving happy, and we all know he arrived here on spectacular form after what we saw him do in Spain when he won the overall classification there in Galicia. So you know Jumbo-Visma right now got to start second guessing what their options are for the Tour de France when Tadej Pogačar smashes the whole field here to pieces. And we go over the Tirreno-Adriatico where Primož Roglič is leading the general classification over there. Now, Tadej Pogačar not only won the overall classification, but he took just about every other jersey in the race too. Jaco Alula won the team classification, and the KOM jersey, of course, went to Jonas Gregor from Uno X, like I said earlier in the video. Was great racing. It did not let us down. The tactics, I got to agree with Sean Kelly on today's stage, where he said he just couldn't understand what was happening. I knew what was happening just as Sean Kelly knew what was happening, but we just didn't understand why you would want to push your team that much, why you would want to make Tim Wellens, Felix Großschartner go so deep, and why you would want to take the risk. If you flat it at the wrong time, you have no teammates left. If you ran your team a little softer, Felix Großschartner could be in the second group the whole time chasing. If you have a problem, you got a teammate back there. But instead, Tadej Pogačar wanted to go big. He didn't want to worry about what ifs would happen from flat tires or crashes or mechanical issues. He just wanted to throw down and show everybody that I got the best legs in the world of professional cycling. I am the #1 rider, as I've said many times here on the Butterfly Effect and Beyond the Coverage. Tadej Pogačar is the #1 rider in the world. Jonas Vingegaard is not the #1. He is not even #2 because the #2 rider is over in Tirreno-Adriatico, which I will cover on the next edition of the Butterfly Effect, coming to you guys later here today, so you get 2 episodes of the Butterfly Effect. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys real soon later today.